Hi guys, it's ADI here. Today, we have prepared a mind-blowing top 16 of the most unusual vehicles. You will see a motorcycle from the future, a mini helicopter, a cool bike, a children's truck, and many other crazy items. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be sure to like our videos. Also, click on the bell button not to miss our releases so that you will always stay up to date. And now, get ready as we are about to start. And we are starting with a bike from a homegrown engineer, Tarso Marquez. He used to be a Formula 1 driver, but now he creates different gizmos. Believe me, he has enough imagination since he has made such a motorcycle. As you can see, there are no details here that we can usually find in bikes. Big wheels, and especially a huge engine, stand out against the hefty frame. In general, the idea of making a Rolls-Royce Continental is quite nice. Yes, maybe this bike is not very comfortable for everyday riding, but it is important for us to understand that if we always did only practical things, then we could miss the chance to come up with something really cool. But the coolest items are yet to come. A flying hover bike. That's what really looks hype. In Dubai, local law enforcement officers decided to change traditional means of transportation and took a flying motorcycle for a test. In the future, patrols will be able to use hoverboards to move quickly around the city and avoid traffic jams. But for now, this is still the plan, and this bike is quite far from widespread use. Perhaps in a few years, we'll see Dubai police not only using cars, but also flying motorcycles. And it will be quite interesting, but still not the same as seeing a semi-submarine that dives to a depth of 2 to 3 meters and accelerates to 90 kilometers per hour. It can hardly be called a toy, since the boat is very powerful for its size. Besides, the boat exists in different versions, in the form of a whale, a dolphin, and even a shark. As for launching, there's nothing complicated here either. For this, you will just need a pier or a semi-trailer, which is driven from the shore into the water. Meanwhile, we're going to move from the water back to land and take a look at the smallest helicopter in the world. There's no cabin here. It only has a steering wheel and a seat. Yes, the helicopter is really small, but such a compact size does not prevent it from being powerful. The engineers who created it put all their imagination and skills into the project. It's not as complicated to control it as it seems at first glance, but its maneuverability is really surprising. And the best part is the design. Yes, the helicopter looks unusual, but it is a dream that may soon become a reality. But now, all we have to do is spin the pedals. The PodRide minicar doesn't take up much space in your garage. You know, this is really convenient, especially in metropolises, where there's crazy city traffic on the street and there's practically no parking spaces left. It is easy to maneuver on such a bike and there's always a roof over your head, so rain and sun are definitely not a problem. What can I say? This is the perfect solution for those who want the convenience of a car and the benefits of a bicycle. Since we're talking about a healthy lifestyle, I will show you the first urban bike made from recycled materials. It is really special as it was created in the light of all the wishes of the Greenpeace people. Each part of it, from the frame to the steering wheel, is made from recyclables. And it is especially cool that this bike is ideal for the bustle of the city. It's lightweight and agile, fast and durable, and at the same time, its designs remain fashionable and stylish. According to Jesus Guevara, the engineer of this wonderwork, he's proud that he has managed to create such a unique and useful transport for traveling around the city. Well, as we move on, let's look at the Mini Jeep, which looks more like a ride-on toy. Yes, it is miniature, but its power is not childish at all. With it, you can ride off-road and meet adventures face-to-face. At first glance, you may think the Jeep looks like a UAZ, and in some ways you will be right, but that's where the similarities end. The engineers did a great job and were able to offer us a really worthwhile mini car. If you're looking for thrills, then this is what you need. Bright design, convenient operation, good power, and ease of maintenance. These are its obvious benefits. Besides, absolutely all spare parts can be easily bought in the store. Isn't that a dream, right? But let's move on from dream to reality. Here's a mini boat that can be ridden by both children and adults. Firstly, the boat is electric, which makes it very quiet. Secondly, the boat is light and maneuverable. And thirdly, its design will not leave any parent indifferent. I'm sure this is exactly what everyone was dreaming of in childhood. After all, I'm not the only one who still remembers that metal car with a steering wheel and pedals, right? Write it in the comments if you had the same. I wonder how many of us did. In the meantime, as a dad, I can't help but admire the next ingenious item. This mini car looks exactly like a real Lamborghini. The design, the body parts, and all other elements are made at such a high level that it's difficult to imagine that there's really such an exact mini copy of the legendary supercar. This is not just a toy, this is a real opportunity to feel yourself like a real racer. And trust me, it's unforgettable to see kids riding this mini car with smiles on their faces. The engineers really tried to ensure that every element remained flawless. I wouldn't mind driving a car like that myself, but where can I order it? If anyone knows, please write it in the comments. Perhaps if we find it, we'll make a super raffle among the subscribers of our channel by the new year. How do you like that idea? The next item is very ambiguous. On one hand, this concept looks cool, but on the other, it raises questions. Yes, engineers were working on this bike day and night to make it not only beautiful, but also useful. Imagine, even fish scales come in handy. But what struck me was the amazing combination of lightness and durability. This bike is not only easy to drive, it also withstands a good load, which makes it ideal for riding on the streets of the metropolis. But one thing is in doubt. Do you really think it can be left on the street if you just remove its seat? I believe that someone else will be riding this bike in an hour. Our next item is a unique project based on the legendary car from the 50s. Its author, Jeremy Butler, boasted that he had managed to exactly repeat the look of the retro car. But he says that without high-precision equipment, he wouldn't have been able to do this. The car has everything for a comfortable ride: a steering wheel, soft seats, an electric motor, and even working headlights. The authors demonstrated incredible attention to detail, and it feels that this car and the original one have become like two peas in a pod. The car turned out to be very cool, and I think it deserves our attention. Well, we're back to another Japanese masterpiece. Here's the Toyota that I saw at the Tokyo Toy Fair 10 years ago. You know, the car looks so real that even adults can ride it. There's one thing that distinguishes it from the rest: you can change the look and add different details. It's like a constructor, but only on an enlarged scale. I bet you can't guess how much this toy costs. Write the price in the comments. I want to know your opinion. And while you're trying to guess, I'll tell you about today's most brutal motorcycle. I think you've already guessed that it doesn't have ordinary wheels. Instead, tracks like tanks have are installed. The bike looks aggressive and just as powerful. It is sure to grab attention wherever you go. The bike is designed for those who are looking for extreme experiences, and with these tracks, it's able to overcome any impassability. And you know, this is the best way to get a charge of vivacity during the weekend, driving it in an open field or somewhere far away. By the way, such a toy doesn't cost much for adults. You just need to spend a week of time and use a little creativity. But if you're not very good at it, then Alex Scott, the Hot Wheels inventive engineer, will always come to the rescue. Here we see a real copy of a Mustang. This mini car accurately copies the design of a real one and does not leave anyone indifferent. By the way, this is a great way to start collecting cars. Who knows, maybe in 10 years you'll be able to sell your collection for the price of a real sports car. As for me, this is a good investment. Be sure to think about it. In the meantime, while you're compiling your thoughts, let's look at the car assembled by hands in the garage by local jacks of all trade. This truck is a small copy of the Model A Roadster, which was previously developed by Henry Ford back in 1927. The peculiarity of the project is that the car was assembled not on the line, but at home, literally with the help of a hammer and scrap. Most likely, the mechanics spent a lot of time and effort to create this unique car. But the result is astonishing. By the way, homemade items are always admirable. They seem to show that with creativity and determination, you can create anything, and for this, only your desire is enough. And today's video, we will finish with a tractor from a homegrown engineer from Minnesota. He proved that children can also drive a truck, at least a smaller copy of it. But this only makes the experience even greater. What really stands out is the design. The truck is made in the style of a tractor from the Swedish company Scania, with all the small details that make it look like a real car. I guarantee kids will feel like real truckers driving this big vehicle. According to Arthur Hayes, the author of this wonderwork, it's quite safe to ride such a mini car. Therefore, if you're looking for a perfect gift that will delight your child, then this item's for you. By the way, if you find where to buy a mini tractor, share the link with us. I think many of my subscribers will be interested to know how much such a toy costs. Well, that's all, friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and that's all for now.